Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome into the Back to 12 podcast. I am RC Mansfield alongside Lyle Leong. And Lyle, I think I've asked you this a couple of times when it comes to the subscribers that we have here. And first and foremost, shout out to all about 1,700 of you. I think we can get to 1,700 with this video, but we need them to turn on the notifications, Lyle.
No
We
doubt.
gotta have those notifications on to stay in the know on the podcast, on Texas Tech daily videos that we're putting out there. We're giving you updates on football, which we'll talk about today. We'll be talking about Texas Tech men's basketball and Mark Adams. A lot of people in my mentions, Lyle, asking about should he be on the hot seat. We'll give our take on that. And then also, I want to give a shout out to Lady Raider basketball as well during this podcast because, damn it, we should talk about them a little bit more and the job that Coach Gerlich and that crew is doing. Maybe don't talk about them enough, but we'll talk about them a little bit on the podcast. But first and foremost, my friend, how you doing today?
Oh man, blessed to be in your presence.
Put that saying on a t-shirt, by the way.
Yeah, man. We're gonna come out with some merch pretty soon. That's a good one to start. But it's just an honor to be here. And I watch Skip and Shannon this morning when I was watching a little football film, and I think we can give them a run for their money. I definitely just glad to have you, trying to keep you out the spotlight too much.
Sure.
I know Skip's coming to the end of his time. So I'm just trying to keep you as long as I can, my brother. That's it.
Yeah, I hate on that man quite a bit, but if I have a career like that guy, sign me the hell up. I'll tell you that much. Let's start with football though, man, because they added a recruit. A lot of people didn't see it coming. I caught wind of it earlier this week. To be honest with you, I had no idea if he was actually going to sign or when he was going to sign. But again, Joey McGuire and crew continue to bring guys that decided out of high school to go out of state back to the Lone Star State. And that's exactly what they did here. And you're starting to see this trend, Lyle, with some of these edge and outside linebackers, what they want. This guy fits the T to it. They bring back Terrell Tilmon. He went up to Oregon, class of 2020 guy. He's 6'5", 221. You're seeing a trend. They like those big guys that can run fast and got some bend to him on the edge. It was weird. He played tight end and defensive end at Oregon, and now he'll only play defensive end at Texas Tech, be more specialized there. But it's cool to see that he went to Oregon, and I think everybody knows who his defensive coordinator was. If you know the track record of the Texas Tech one, it was Tim DeRuyter. That was actually who recruited him up to Oregon. So he'll be back with Tim DeRuyter on the Texas Tech defense. He's immediately eligible, only has 5 tackles in his career, but he does have 3 years of eligibility. And Lyle, I think, again, it's cool to go get these kind of guys. He was a 3-star recruit, obviously didn't have a lot of production. Now he's going to be more specialized. But I'm loving seeing the consistency in terms of going out and getting guys that are 6'5", 225 on the edge, and you can just rotate these guys in and create almost like a carousel effect where there's no drop-off potentially for that defensive line. And that's something that I think Texas Tech has struggled with mightily and, well, I mean, really their entire history, except for, maybe points here and there. But now you've got legitimately 7 guys, 6, 7 guys that you can just put at the edge and be like, go.
Yeah, most def. I think we kind of talked about it on our space. For those that listen to your space, we kind of talked about it. I think the game has just changed when it comes to recruiting in a lot of different ways, as far as kids making money, other kids coming in. Oregon's one of those high class places in a sense that has money. So there's no telling what they got that made him want to come. Whatever the case may be, I know that he thinks highly of Coach McGuire and what they're doing. Everybody can see it. But I think it helps you in a sense and it hurts you in a sense. And I think football-wise, honestly, I think it's helped us as far as those NIL deals and you got kids going and going to get crazy amounts. Saw the quarterback that was going to Florida at about 13 mil. So I think the game is changing a little bit. I kind of think that McGuire and them are kind of ahead of the game when it comes to that, in a sense of getting guys that, it's a 3-star, not much production, but because Coach was there, he knows what type of kid he can be and probably will be for him. He knows how to use them. So I think that's helped a lot with this transfer portal and Tech building it. Like I said, I went by there 2 days ago, stood in the end zone where they were tearing it all down, and kind of reminisced about all the good times I had. But I'm excited to see what they're doing. I think, like I said, you're starting to see better recruits because you're starting to get better facilities. You're starting to get each of them kids get $25,000. I mean, it's turning into a place it's hard to turn down. So that's what people don't understand about this NIL stuff. It's your top tier guys that get that type of money. It's not everybody. But Texas Tech as an institution has came together and they're giving everybody 25,000. So
Yeah.
that makes a big difference on a lot of things. There's a lot of schools, a lot of friends I got coaching that ain't doing that and aren't able to do that. So shout out to Texas Tech, Kirby, and the alumni, Womble, Campbell, all these guys that's given to make this a better place. I think you're starting to see the difference. And so, I just want to tell everybody that when we're talking, don't get confused too on the past. So, when we're like, these guys are in here they're getting better recruits because they have better facilities, better opportunities and stuff like that. So with the times, Tech has helped, not taking anything away from Coach McGuire. They've done a phenomenal job, but Tech is helping those guys be able to get the type of recruits we've never got to get before.
As they
Because
should. That's what you should do.
Right.
Like, I mean, when, it's one of those things where it's like, I think, and not every school does this because Texas Tech isn't doing it, but I think some schools have a mindset of now that we've got our guy, we don't have to invest as much. No, when you get your guy, that's when you invest more. Like, and whatever you think that number is, you should probably double it, maybe even triple it in terms of the investment. Because if you have your guy, and this is not saying McGuire's leaving or anything like that. I'm just saying when you get the coach that is the guy, and I think it's very easy to say that right now with Joe McGuire, not just with the on-field success, but everything else he's doing in terms of getting his coaches more money, bringing in the right coaches, first and foremost, the culture, right? This is when the funds and everything should be pouring in times 2, times 3, times 4, whatever it is, because this is not the moment to stop. This is the moment to kind of just put your pedal to the metal in terms of, hey, we need to go after the facilities. We need to go after the best players. We need to go after this. We need to start paying our coaches more, which Texas Tech is doing because you want to keep those good coaches in West Texas. Right. Not to mention, this stuff brings in a lot of notoriety around the country. And there's that old saying in PR, Lyle, and TCU is probably learning it the hard way today with their hire as OC. There's no such thing as bad PR, right? But Texas Tech is on the good side of that right now. Right. And you want to just get as much as you possibly can, build up as much as you possibly can in every way possible. And I think that's what Texas Tech is doing right now in the sense of, again, that's the thing I love to see from a university that realizes, okay, we got the right guy. This isn't our time to be stagnant. This is our time to accelerate the process. And hey, it may not happen right away because let's face it, it typically doesn't. But if you have the proper people in place, you have the proper facilities and resources in place, it intensifies and probably increases, is a better word, the chances that you get to where you want to be. Right. And that's the big thing, where just don't be complacent. And that's the thing I think I'm most excited about Texas Tech is the on-field success is obviously great, but them not being complacent off the field is even better for me in the sense that, yeah, they can attack it on the recruiting trail. They've got these better facilities, this, that, and the other. And I think it all starts with those guys, with the Kitleys of the world, the McGuires of the world, right. And just what the athletic department is putting in place for those guys to succeed, whether that's dollars, facilities, whatever it may be. So, and you're seeing it right now. I mean, it's super early.
But I don't think they've always done that either.
No, they haven't. They haven't.
That's my thing. Sometimes I think back, what if they did all this when we had Leach? Granted, I probably would have never got to play receiver, but imagine if they did that with Leach. So
I think the times have changed too, right? Like back when you played, and I make you sound like an old man there. You're not.
I am old, brother.
No, you're not. You're not. When I say back in my day, it makes me think of the 1930s, and you're not back that far.
Close.
Yeah, we're getting there, but not yet, not yet. But I think when the mindset has just kind of changed, and I don't know if it's social media or whatever, but it's just the arms race for facilities. It's always been there, but I think it's been magnified over the past, like, what, decade, 12 years to the highest degree possible. And it's funny, we talked about this on a prior podcast. Like, Texas Tech is building a brand new football facility, right? The day it opens, you're behind the eight ball already. Like, it's outdated. It's that quick. Like, you're doing great things, and it's much needed. But as soon as it opens, it's damn near outdated already.
But see, I disagree a little bit in the sense of, I think you're right as far as, like you said, behind the eight ball, trying to the times have changed. But at the same time, I think for the most part, Texas Tech was satisfied with being the university with being a mid-tier team. And that's when we were there, like I said, even being number 2 in the country, like, nothing changed. It wasn't like they're like, y'all number 2, so we're going to get y'all food or we're going to get y'all extra muscle milk. It's like, nah, we got the same thing we was when we was 8-5. Nothing changed. So I think, like I said, I tell people that all the time, and me and you kind of have this debate saying it's hard to recruit in Texas at Texas Tech. It is for various reasons, but especially when you're behind the eight ball, when you can go to University of Oklahoma and see 6 cold tubs and hot tubs with Oklahoma University over it, and then you go to Texas Tech and we have 2, and one of those turns into a treadmill at the bottom of the pool. So you got some kids and they're doing treadmills, some kids getting an ice tub. So like I said, it's still, like I said, we're still behind. I know they're building, but we're still behind. Like I said, I went there 2 days ago. It's still the same way I was there in 2007 in the training room, in the locker room. They may change it around. They may add new lockers. At the end of the day, it's the same locker room from 2007. Yeah. So, like I said, I went with my principal. He's like, man, how do you remember this? Yeah, it's the exact same, minus the better lockers. So,
and that's why it's changing right now, right?
Right.
Like that's, I mean, again, it's an arms race. Like, every year you don't make an update to your facility, it's outdated. It's that simple. Like, I mean, it's almost like a never-ending cycle for this, where it's like, you can have super nice stuff, and that is not what I don't hear what I'm not saying. The facility Texas Tech is building right now is going to be state-of-the-art. The problem is, state-of-the-art can become obsolete that quick.
Yeah. No,
that fast. And so, like, what they're doing is obviously much needed, and it will help. But the problem is once you get there, you can't just basically flatline, almost, in a way where it's like you have to keep adding year after year to things. And I know it's like, why do they keep getting all this new stuff, this, that, and the other? Well, it's not the only reason you can compete on the football field, because it's not. There's some teams out there with just shitty facilities that actually are good, right? Like, it happens.
Yeah, I know.
But if you really, really want to keep up with it, and you want to be, viewed as one of those destination type schools in the future, you continuously have to keep adding, maybe not even once a year, twice a year, to your facilities, because we talked about this too, and we had this debate, because you and I are on opposite sides of that debate when it comes to recruiting in West Texas, which makes it fun. But it's one of those deals where facilities, like, people think, again, kids commit to a school. That could not be more false. They commit to coaches and facilities, and damn it, can I look cool? Like, and then the fourth one is, hey, can they get me to the league? And that's mostly with the coaches, though, right? So that's really what it comes down to. And then there's obviously some kids that are like, oh, do they have my degree there? But that's few and far between. Really, it's coaches, facilities, and do I look cool? That's it.
And I want to plead to Kirby, if you're listening to me, man, we got to get out this Under Armour, man. Under Armour's been
they're going to go to Adidas here soon, right? They have to with Pat. They have to.
Not. But I hate seeing our kids in SC30s. Like, it bothers me. And
you don't like the Sour Patch Curries?
I still believe that's why we didn't win the national championship. We have Stephen Curry's on. It's not it. Not it, Kirby. Not it. I love you to death, but it's not it. And so I'm not going to go on a tangent about when we first were Under Armour at the football team and how our soles fell out the bottom of our feet. I'm not even going to go down that road because we ain't got time for that today. But Kirby, if you're listening to me, trust me, dog. These kids want Nike, man. Get the kids what they want, man.
I think they're going to end up with Adidas, man.
They will lose more recruits if they do that.
They're going to end up with Adidas because who's the face of the NFL right now? Patrick Mahomes. Where's Patrick Mahomes signed? Adidas. Where did he go to school?
Bro,
As we all know,
name
Texas
me
Tech.
one other person that wears Adidas.
No, it's a good point. I mean, I'm just saying that's why they'd go
The
to
only
Adidas.
people that's going to be happy about this is our soccer program. We need to cut it out. I definitely don't want to go to Steph Curry's. Who in the NBA wears Adidas? Nobody.
I don't know. I'm going to look this up. You know what? Go on your tangent. I'm going to look this up.
It just makes no sense. We're going to go to Adidas. Not one NBA person wears Adidas.
Okay, I got you. I got him. James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Derrick Rose, obviously the D Roses. Let me make sure. We're still right here. Yeah, Damian Lillard, Trae Young. Those are the 5.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Tell me what a pair of Trae Youngs look like.
I'll be honest with you, I have no idea.
Exactly.
But to be fair, I'm not paying attention to that guy.
But you've seen Kyrie's before?
It's fair.
You can name all the Nikes. You've seen KD's before. You've seen LeBron's before.
I'm mostly paying attention to those Lukas now. I've been trying to cop them, but they're sold out everywhere.
What does Luka wear?
He wears Jordan, so.
But Jordan is a part of what?
Yeah, Nike. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
listen,
I get it. I get it, man. I get it. I'm just saying. I bet you that's where they end up.
Kids out there on the basketball court wearing Ronaldinho's, Pele's. We got to cut this out, man. We can't do this. I'm sorry, Kurt, but we cannot do this, man. We got the new Ronaldinho's. But like I said, I'm going to say it right now on this podcast. We lost the national championship because we had Steph Curry's on. And I'm a fan of Steph Curry's, but that's not it. And like I said, I know Steph Curry will probably put 50 on me, but I try my best not to let him score any points because he came out there in his own shoe. I'm not going to do it. It's like a kid wearing knee brace and goggles. Not going to happen. Not going to do it. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. Let's get back on track. It's too much this morning.
Dude, I'm so dead right now. Guy walking out there with his brand new Ronaldinho's.
Yeah, man. It's out of control, man. Out of control. Patrick, they're going to make Patrick.
I don't know how I'm going to get back on track. I'm legitimately almost crying right now.
Man, it's too much, bro. It's too much. Soccer team going to be hyped, though. They're going to be up there in Kirby's office every day bringing them coffee. Thanks, Kirby.
I'm legit.
You mark my word. We go Adidas, we're getting 5 decommits. Guaranteed off top.
Oh, my God.
Guaranteed.
Ronaldinho's, dude. The worst part about it is you didn't even stop. You didn't hesitate. Like you didn't think about that. The first thing literally the first name that popped in your head soccer wise, you were just like the Ronaldinho's.
For real. Think about it, bro. In the Elite 8 last year, what team wore Adidas?
Oh,
do you know?
I don't know, man.
I'm willing to put $100, and you listeners out there, tell me if I'm tripping. I'm willing to bet there wasn't a Sweet 16 team in Adidas. Guarantee it.
Let me see. I'm looking up the football teams right now. Because I don't know.
It's Louisville, and that's about it. And A&M.
Yeah, I can only. So there's 37 teams. Nike's number 1 at 68. Under Armour, there's only 17. I'm trying to find the names here.
And bro, let me tell you this as I'm on this tangent. Maryland's person that created Under Armour went to Maryland, and they have the worst jerseys in college football.
I just love this tangent that we're going down right now.
And he went there. Like, bro, do you know how mad I'd be as a head coach if you went to my school and you brought me back these 6-piece helmets and 6-piece jerseys with the flag? Come on, man.
All right, I've got the Adidas list. You ready for this? I'll name the big schools for you. Okay?
A&M, Louisville.
I'm just gonna go in ABC order because that's how it's listed.
Okay.
Arizona State, Kansas, Indiana.
Oh Lord.
Louisville, Miami of Florida.
Oh, geez.
Mississippi State, NC State, Nebraska, Rutgers, Texas A&M, Washington. Those are the big schools. There's a bunch of other ones like Nevada and Georgia Southern, Wyoming, all those schools. But those are like the big Power 5 schools.
And how many in the SEC and Big 12 wear Adidas? One, correct? Two. One in the ACC, one in the SEC.
Well, no, there's one in the SEC there's two, Mississippi State, Texas
Okay.
A&M. ACC there's two, NC State, Miami, and Florida, and then I think there's only one in the Big 12, and that's Kansas.
And then you just keep it like that.
I love how this tangent. I didn't even mean for us to go on a 10-minute tangent about
I
freaking
didn't
brand,
either,
but
brother.
here
I'm
we
trying
are.
to help our program out. And I'm telling you right
I
now.
might have to change the thumbnail now. Might have to change the thumbie up and put Adidas on there and get a picture of you with like a bubble over it and saying, "Damn it, I need Nikes."
Hey, watch they contact me tomorrow and I'll be in a next podcast. I'll be in all Adidas stuff. Hey, I want to apologize to all our subscribers out there. Adidas is the best in the nation, and I just want to support and apologize for my
You got a whole brand new wardrobe for your whole family.
Hey, tag Adidas in this too. Hey, Adidas, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. If y'all come with a good deal, I'll change my tune. I'll rep y'all. Texas Tech. Me and my partner need gear money. That's it. Sponsor us.
I'm telling you, whenever that deal is up with Under Armour, they are going to be an Adidas school if Patrick Mahomes is still
And
there.
I will be fuming. You know how you come on and make your own? I'm gonna make my own and go off for 5 minutes and go off on 5 minutes.
Bro, I'd be going off on tangents, like hard tangents on those Twitter spaces.
Bro, I'm gonna try to get Dion. I'm gonna try to contact Dion and ask him how he would feel if they came to him and offered him Adidas. I just want to hear what he got to say. I'm gonna say, hey, Dion, Coach Prime, tell me what you tell the people if Adidas came to you and said, hey, the Buffaloes are going to Adidas.
Can't get over the Ronaldinho comment. All right, we need to move on. First and foremost, before we hop into anything else, get us to 1,700 subscribers right now. Like, we are 10 away. Help us out. Hit that subscribe button. And be sure to hit that bell too. We're giving you daily videos around Texas Tech, giving you the only podcast in the Texas Tech community that will shit on other brands.
No doubt.
I mean, we're the only ones doing it.
Hey, Coach McGuire got our prize that we're gonna give away, man. Coach McGuire got it. Those guys are taking care of it for us.
Hey, there we go.
So they're out recruiting, getting, just got another commit. So they're out doing their thing. So as soon as they get back, man, me and RC will have it up. We'll showcase it to y'all. And like I said, put in the comments if y'all want somebody else to sign it. We're gonna get the coaches to sign it. But if y'all want someone in particular, let me know.
We'll try our best to do it for sure.
Tyrese is gone, so don't ask him. He's out of here. But anyone else, we'll see what we could do. Like I said, if y'all want to get some more value, get my boy RC to sign it. I mean, if I was getting the ball, I would ask that. But
that's a decrease, my guy.
I feel like a groupie as this being my boy, so I can't ask those type questions. So, I might blame it on one of my children and get them to sign something for me, put it in my office, blame it on my kids.
No, I've been there before. People recognize me at a bar here in Dallas, and they're just like, "Hey, can I get your number?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'll talk to anybody. I don't care." But it's also one of those weird moments because my fiance would be like, "I just saw your head grow so big when people recognize you." I'm like, "It's not true, but it does feel nice. I appreciate when people come up and talk and everything like that." So, really does mean a lot to all of us. Again, it's going to be do we want to tell them Texas Tech football, right?
Yeah, without a doubt.
So it's going to be a Texas Tech football
without a doubt. Yes, sir.
Yeah, with multiple coaches signing it. We'll try our best to get players. No promises on that front, but we'll do our best to reach out to them and everything like that. And then probably on the next podcast, hopefully, because as Lyle's mentioned, they're out on recruiting stuff and everything. I'm sure if you pay attention to Texas Tech Twitter, you've seen them at damn near every high school in the state of Texas this past week. But we'll get it out to y'all. And then I appreciate y'all's patience too, because we said it was 1,500. We're almost to 1,700 now. We appreciate the patience on that front, but we want to make sure we can get as many signatures as possible on there for you guys. So whoever's the winner can showcase it and everything like that. But again, be sure to hit that subscribe button, tell your friends about the channel, everything like that. Hit that notification bell as well. I know we're asking y'all to do a lot, but it really does mean a lot. And we try and interact with y'all as much as possible. Let's move on to Texas Tech Lady Raider basketball, Lyle.
Yes, sir.
I put out a video yesterday, and you know, I'll say this. I feel kind of bad, Lyle, because I feel like I should talk about women's sports more
Hmm.
when it comes to Texas Tech. And I think that just full transparency about myself. Like I don't forget my roots, like where I got my start in Texas Tech athletics and stuff like that. But it's also harder to get that information, if that makes sense, right? Like, because I still talk to some of those coaches on the volleyball team and women's basketball and all that stuff. Like, I still talk to them, but it's harder to get that information almost in a way. Um, when, football, there's so many people covering it, and everybody knows somebody in football. Everybody knows somebody in men's basketball. You know what I mean? Um,
Hmm.
but I think I'm going to try and make it a little bit more of a point of emphasis. And not just because Texas Tech Lady Raider basketball is doing better now. I put out a few videos before the season started about them, but mostly just because, like, damn it, I think we just need to be better at it.
Amen.
I don't think we need to discuss a whole podcast about it every time. You know what I mean? But I think it'd be bad on me more so than you, in the sense that we need to talk about these ladies more.
Hmm.
They work just as hard as the dudes and everything like that. The job that Coach Gerlich has done with this program is
Yeah. They might
phenomenal.
give them a run for their money right now.
Yeah, I mean they're phenomenal. Um, I remember watching them before the season started. I was out there for the Houston football game and got to watch both men and women's practice. And I was talking to my buddy I was with there at the time, and I was like, they have it. I just don't know when it's gonna click. Like, I didn't know if it was this year or if it was gonna be next year, but I was like, they have it. Like, the foundation is there. It's just, when does that, snowball effect happen? And I don't even know if the snowball effect's happening right now, but it's definitely, you can tell the snowball's moving in the right direction. And
Right.
that's something we haven't been able to say about Lady Raider basketball in, I shit you not, a decade. Like,
Mm.
give these girls their flowers. They are working like they're, what's off. Briamber Scott is her. She is her.
She's it.
She's her.
She's
Um,
it.
we can call him, we call guys Himothy. She is Hermothy right there.
Mm.
Okay. Like, she is
That's
her
good.
at
That's
what
good.
she's doing. Like, I
Mm.
think these past two games, she's averaging like 33 and a half.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, she had 28. This game she had 37. The game before that, she had 23,
She's the
20, and
leading
21.
scorer in every Big 12 game for Texas Tech this year.
Yeah.
And she's the leading
Brother,
scorer in the
I
Big
ain't never
12 too.
seen 20 points in a game. So definitely not that level. I couldn't hit 20 in high school, maybe 20 fouls.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's just
And,
wanted to
and
give
she
them their
got 10
credit.
rebounds. 10
Yeah.
rebounds. She's close to a triple double. She's having double doubles though.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to give them their shout out, because I think that they deserve it. We got about 10 minutes left in the podcast. So I just wanted to make sure that we gave them their shout out because they deserve it.
Hey, and good girls, good luck this upcoming against West Virginia, my other school. Y'all know I Texas Tech till I die, but I got to rep West V too. Got my master's from there, so got nothing but love for them too.
Yeah, cool. Send them back to those windy roads, country roads, whatever the
Yeah,
hell that guy says. Send them
yeah.
back there, guys. Or ladies. But Texas Tech men's basketball, it's in the thumbnail, Lyle.
Mm,
I get it all the time in my mentions on Twitter, like, hey, is it time for Mark Adams to go? And I wanted to talk about this because it's mind-boggling to me, in the
mhm,
sense of, like, and I'll preface everything I'm about to say with this, is like, being in the media, there are some things I just don't feel comfortable talking about.
mm,
And one of those things is Mark Adams' personal life, family. Like, I don't do that. That's not me. I don't think that that's fair to Mark Adams.
mhm,
Um, I will say this though, like, I've had people say, like, hey, should he be fired? This, that, and the other. It's like, Brody was like coach of the year last year. Like, you can have a
mhm,
bad year, and everything. And I think it's telling. We were talking about it before we hit record on the podcast. Like, these kids are showing love to him at the press conference, and everything. And, like, I get all the complaints and whatnot. I truly do. Because God knows, if you listen to my Twitter spaces, like, I'm frustrated just like everybody else watching this team. Um, but, like, let's chill out a minute. You know what I mean? Like,
mm,
let's chill out. Now, does that mean he'll be back next year? I don't know. I'm not Kirby. I'm not the guy in charge. I'm just strictly talking about right now. I think Mark Adams has earned the right to have a bigger leash than some people are giving him. And now that's
Mm,
not to say that you shouldn't be critical of him and his decision making and stuff, because the position he's in, you can be critical. Just do not make it personal. That's all I ask, right? Like, do not make it personal. Just strictly be critical of what he's doing on the floor, whether that's rotations, lack of adjustments, whatever it may be. But I think he's earned a bigger leash than some people are giving him.
right. And I think too, my biggest thing is just hearing a lot of interviews, hearing a lot of, the biggest thing that stuck out to me is one of his players hugged him and said, "Don't give up on us." And
Yep.
so to me that's shows maturity of that young man too. But like you talked about in those spaces, those kids understand at the end of the day they play. There's been a lot of times where I've seen the Kansas Chiefs call some bad calls, and I seen Patty Mahomes get them out of it. So at the same time, I'm big on that. I understand coaching is important, but for me as a coach, being a head coach is culture. If you got the culture right, that's half the battle. And it
Yep.
may not be perfect, but if kids are saying "Don't give up on me," that means they believe and they are taking responsibility. So, I kind of went on my soap on that Twitter space, and I never talk about kids either, but I mean, at the end of the day, these kids got to perform too. And I
Oh, it's
think,
definitely a two-way street.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah,
and I
some of
think
these
it
guys have not, I mean, again, I'm not trying to single guys out or anything, but Devion's got to play better. I think he would admit that. Kevin's got to
yeah.
play better. I think he'd admit that. I think just going down the line, everybody would admit, like, hey, I have to do at least two or three things better, you know?
Right, and I think, but the expectations it creates, with stars. I'm not a star dude, and I'm sorry for those. There's been some 5 stars that come through and been monsters. I get all that, but I played with a team where everybody was 2 and 3 stars, and they played like they were 5 stars. So I'm not big on stars. To me, it's performance. At the end of the day, I know coaches get slack. Well, he got a 5 star. Well, he got a 4 star. That doesn't matter because, like I said, I played over at different in the CFL, I played over a 5 star. That doesn't mean anything. It's just how can you perform? How can you do? So I think it's unfair a lot of times too. And the coach is always going to get it, just like in football, quarterbacks are always going to get it. It doesn't matter if they drop 10 balls, we're going to say, man, that quarterback. But if they win, the quarterback gets that same love back.
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
I think head coaches in that same boat, but at this level, like I said, these kids are getting paid 25,000. Let me repeat for those now, 25,000. Pay me 25,000. I promise I'll come put on a show right now in my 35-year-old self. 25K plus scholarship plus school, I will go to work for you. So I think at the same time, we got to realize and we got to hold these kids accountable in the right way and understand their
Don't
kids at
make
the end of
anything
the day.
personal. Don't be
Yeah,
don't be atting these kids on Twitter. Like, that's the
man,
dumbest
come
thing,
on
unless
now.
it's positive. You can add them if it's
Yeah.
positive, but if it's negative, just don't be a dick. It's that
And
simple.
think about it, like some of these kids, 30,000, they're playing against 30,000. My first game, I can't tell people that enough. You know, 60,000 people screaming and they yell hateful stuff. And they, not everybody, but I
Yeah.
remember going to Texas in front of 100,000 and hearing some crazy stuff and A&M. So these kids go through a lot. They're learning, they're growing. And yes, we expect them to perform, but we have to work with them too. And just give them time. Like I said, for an 18-year-old to go have a lot of pressure playing on TV when, some of you dudes and ladies out there have pressure at work when it's one person over your head and you struggle, but we won't go down that line. But these kids are out here, got 30,000 people over their back and just pressures that they probably put on themselves. So we just got to remember that at the end of the day, these dudes have to perform, but like I said, until you've been in that situation, until you've seen 30,000 people with all eyes on you, it's a different animal. So they got to grow, they got to perform, but we got to be lenient on that because, like I said, last year, everybody had on their tech stuff cheering for these dudes. Oh, we got the best school in the nation. We're number one. So don't get it twisted when a year goes down. And be with them whether we up or down, and they'll get back to where they want to be. But you guys don't understand the influence that you have. When kids transfer here because they say Lubbock sucks because y'all were booing them. And then the next year we don't get y'all like, man, we had all these players that left. Y'all ain't helping the cause. So we got to make these kids, these recruits feel like it's at home. So no matter what the situation is going, they want to come back and not feel like that. Because like I said, it's a lot of y'all say this trash, but I believe if y'all got offered a promotion, y'all took it. But I'm not gonna go on that tangent as well. So sorry, RC. I'm gonna let you have it back, man.
No, you're good. Yeah, I think, and we can wrap it up here. Again, it's being critical and stating your criticisms are totally fine. Just don't make it personal. That's
Right.
all it is. Like, you got to remember they're people first. You can criticize their game and everything and think they can play better, coach better, whatever it may be. But as soon as you make it personal, your whole argument goes out the window. At least that's my opinion on it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Try and get us to 1,700 subscribers. We'll have an update next week on next week's pod about the giveaway. I can promise you that. It's going to be a football signed by a few Texas Tech coaches that you probably want to get your hands on. So to be entered to win, you have to hit that subscribe button. Lyle, where can the people follow you on Twitter, my man?
Hey, before y'all follow me, man, I was kind of thinking, RC, I know we're short on time, but I was kind of thinking, man, we get close to the 5,000, man, I might have to take somebody to a Tech game, man, maybe get some special
Spicy.
treatment. So,
Spicy.
I just want to leave that up there for you people.
Let's
And
say
the football will be here
5,000 before football season. How about
Yeah,
that?
5,000 before football season. We'll go tour the locker room and go stand on the field before the game and all those fun stuff.
Let's do it.
But you can follow me at Coach LLEONG. And you can follow my main man RC at
RCMB323. We'll catch y'all next time. Again, hit that subscribe button for daily Texas Tech videos. We'll have an update next week on the giveaway. He's Lyle. I'm RC. Appreciate y'all tuning in to the Back to 12 podcast.